I can't imagine what he went through to actually have to mentally make this decision. Physically, he was probably, yep, that's the right thing to do.
All right, so some sad news that came out, and if you guys watched back in June, I had my man Steezy A. Smith on an episode of Evening With, so hopefully we can get Lindy and Dawn to do an episode of that. We're talking behind the scenes and maybe something happening, but that's neither here nor there. At this point in time, Chris Carson has retired after 5 seasons of being with the Seahawks. I am saddened by the news because, as everybody knows, my second team is the Seattle Seahawks, and it seems like we just had, a really good run of running backs. And Rashad Penny now, maybe he's relieved a little bit, kind of sad but relieved at the same time that he now knows that he's going to be the number one moving forward. But just hearing the unfortunate news with the neck injury, I don't know if you guys have seen the x-ray. Maybe I can throw up an image on the screen of what exactly it looked like if you didn't see. The guy has a plate and several screws in his neck, and that's something, like I say, you don't want to play around with. So we'll kind of go in reverse order here. Sor, what did you think when you saw this?
Sad but expected. Like I said, as soon as the not even leaks, but as soon as you saw that image right there of the screws in the neck, right then and there, I thought he should have retired. Like I just said, sad but expected. But yeah, that's something you definitely cannot mess around with, because that is an endangerment to his well-being and his health in general. So yeah, it had to happen.
Yeah, it had to happen. That was one of the things that I was kind of hopeful for, and then Steezy was like, I don't think he's coming back. And he was absolutely correct in that prediction. Of course, he hears a lot of stuff coming from Seattle, so he's going to be my Seattle newsman whenever I need to reach out and get some of the inside scoops. So I appreciate that we do have that friendship. But Coach, being the the former running back of San Diego State University, what was your thoughts around this Chris Carson thing, man?
That's what it's like to
thank God. Thank God I ain't got to go through that. My offensive line ain't put me through all that crap right there. But otherwise, it's so disappointing. Chris Carson was probably one of the top running backs in this game, was going to emerge as a top running back in this game. Very underrated. Love the way he ran the football when he was on the field. Kind of reminds me of David Wilson for the Giants, how he went out with a neck injury. Man, so it's just sad to see some of these guys that's had the full potential and they end up getting hurt. It's just unfortunate, man. Just wish the best for Chris Carson. It's the right move. You don't want to put your neck injury in harm's way when you're just one hit away from killing yourself or being paralyzed. So it's just the right move for him. And Rashad Penny is going to get more reps. Kenneth Walker is going to probably be the backup for the Seattle Seahawks. Like I said, man, Chris Carson's he just made a choice. He made a choice to retire. That's a great choice. Like I say, your health is over everything. You stay with your health first, then more than football. I mean, like I say, family comes first, yourself come first. So again, it's unfortunate he had to bow out, but again, just know he was becoming one of the. He was going to be a top back in this league someday, top 10 to top 5 back in the league someday. And the guys, it's been fun watching Chris Carson's play when he's on the field. So next man up, Rashad Penny, Kenneth Walker. They got to step it up for the Seattle Seahawks. But thoughts and prayers goes out to Chris Carson.
Yeah, most definitely, man. I'll let Don go ahead and close this one out, but just to jump in here, I've said my piece on it. I said start looking towards a career and whatever you're going to do now, and you made your money, and just kind of move forward from here, and maybe come back and be hopeful for the young guys that you've been helping out, and Rashad Penny and the rest of those guys. I mean, you've been in that building. I don't know if I would have to ask Steezy myself. Who knows if Kenneth Walker is going to make the impact that everybody thinks he's going to. You hope that he's the Michigan State running back in Seattle, and maybe becomes the number one. I mean, think about the history of the Seahawks. Right now, they've had great running backs for a very, very long time that has been fortunate enough to be healthy. And this is like one of the very first hiccups that we've encountered in, in their, let's say, last 15, 20 years of, having success. But Lindy, you are right. I mean, I mentioned the Ryan Shazier injury. You definitely don't want that to happen. And at this point in time, with screws in your neck and stuff like that, it could possibly worse. Like, at this point in time, Ryan Shazier is better off than he was during the initial injury. And, I know people were talking about him coming back and playing, but I absolutely didn't see that as a possibility with the deterioration and things that do happen of muscle tissue and things like that from, being injured. But, Chris, we hope nothing but the best, man. Maybe look for something like a front office job and things like that. Or like, your health is more important than the game. And, everybody respects you. I don't know if anybody has seen the top 100 list when he was number 96, I believe it was. And all the players had nothing but good things to say about him. Like, rushes hard, was a great teammate, was very beloved by his teammates. So make an impact somewhere else. I like to say you can make an impact more than a stat sheet for a team in situations like this. So, Don,
I want to bring up one more thing before Don go. Don't forget about Sterling Sharp, how good he was before he had to retire off the spinal injury. He was one hit away from being paralyzed. And remember, Green Bay won the Super Bowl the very next year. They won the Super Bowl the very next year. Just had to throw that up, man. So many great players, retire early, and that's one of the guys, the receivers that I kind of looked up to. That was hard. That was very hard. That was so physical. Catch the ball anywhere up and down the field. It's unfortunate, too, that he got hurt because of a spinal injury literally 1 year before his team won the Super Bowl the very next year and beat the Patriots. So I had to throw that in for another prime example.
Yeah, thanks so much for that, man. And, not to keep delaying Don from talking. I feel so rude right now, but thank you to the people that subscribed over on YouTube just within our, our short time of 22 minutes here. You didn't have to do that, but we, surely appreciate you coming over and joining the family. And shout out to Lindy for joining the Discord channel. If you have not, join that too. A lot of stuff pops off, especially when we're talking about, we're doing the Navy series right now for NCAA because, actual people like watching video games every once in a while. But Don, go ahead and
there's a platform for it.
Hey, it is what it is. But Don, give us your thoughts on the Chris Carson thing, man. And I know you've probably seen your fair share of injuries in your lifetime. So
yes, sir. Yeah, it has to be one of the hardest things for a professional athlete to make this type of decision. And with all the advances over the years in medicine and surgeries and things, to have to come to a decision where, man, this is my life. I've always been an athlete, and now I have to make a choice. Am I going to give that up just for a quality of life, basically? And he made the right decision. I mean, there's no way you play with that. But I can't imagine what he went through to actually have to mentally make this decision. Physically, he was probably, yep, that's the right thing to do. But you got to respect him, all the time he put in, the player he was, and I certainly hope he gets used after football doing something that he likes to do, involving the game in some way.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I had made that point in my short video with Steezy as well. Just, you got to get used to life after football, no matter how much it sucks at this point in time, because your health, Chris, is the most important. But just like I said at the end of the video, thank you for everything that you've done for the Seattle Seahawks and the influence, the good influence that you've had over your teammates. I'm sure they respect that, and I know you were super close with Russ as well. So I know you're cheering for him over. Just so happens so was wearing a Broncos jersey today, but you're cheering for him over at for the Seattle Seahawks. So just sad news, but it just is what the game is.